Hello friends, welcome back to my channel Mukesh English, and this is Mukesh Soni. So in this video, I'm going to talk to you about the revision of first semester BCom BB Generic English. So let's revise the whole syllabus. First semester BCom BB Generic English in the BCU. For 60 marks, your exams are approaching, and this video is going to help you a lot to understand the question paper pattern and also to know very briefly about each and every chapter, each and every key points, each and every segments of the grammar. So for more videos, I request you to go through the description box. In the description box, you can find all the lessons links. I've done the summaries. I've done the summaries of all the chapters. I have already done the videos on all the important grammatical parts. So that's going to help you a lot. But as well as this video will also give you a glance before 1 hour, before 2 hours, if you go for the examination. Definitely, if you go through this video, that's going to help you a lot. So without much delay, let's know about the syllabus. What is the syllabus of first semester BCom BBA Generic English under BCU? You have the 8 important key points, 8 important topics under workbook. So comprehension passage, interpretation skills, that is data interpretation. Then listening skills, you have what's the difference between listening and hearing, types of listening. Then functional English. Functional English means to say how to introduce yourself, how to introduce others, how to make a request, how to offer help, how to say congratulations, making inquiries, seeking permissions. Then you have important topic is here, how to give the instructions to do a task, to use a device, and to give directions with the help of the map. Then you have remedial grammar here, how to frame WH questions, non-WH questions, question tags, subject verb agreement, and the derivatives, or we can say the vocabulary, prefix, suffix, etc. So that's for the 40 mark syllabus. The remaining 20 marks syllabus is based on the 6 important chapters which have been borrowed from the course book. So you have very important story, acceptance, sonnet 106, marriage is a private affair, on buying and selling, towards a competitive nation by Abdul Kalam, then N. Krishna Swami's famous essay, the freedom and choice. So this is the syllabus for the 60 marks in the main examination. So let's begin it. So the very first, your question paper is divided into the 2 sections. One is section A that consists of questions from the workbook for the 40 marks. And here, the very first question you are going to face in this question paper, that is a comprehension passage. You need to read the passage and you need to answer 5 questions based on it. So read the passage very carefully and very meticulously also, and answer the questions to the point. The answers may be written in the one sentence or one word, true, false, fill up the blanks, give a suitable title. So like this, you'll be having 5 easy questions. So easily you can get here 5 out of 5. Second question will be asked here, data interpretation. Now, what is data interpretation here? A kind of pie chart, bar diagram, right? Some sort of chart will be given here, and you need to answer. There'll be 5 multiple choice questions. Based on the chart, you need to answer the questions. So 5 marks, data interpretation. So I have tried to get you the sample from the previous year's question paper. So if you see here, it's a sample question from the previous year's question paper. The following table shows the production of sugar in different units for the 5 consecuting continuous months in a year. Carefully read the table and answer the questions. So we find here in the month of March, April, May, etc. production units we have. So when you go through this table like this, you'll be having 5 questions and you'll be having A, B, C, D, etc. the choices, and multiple this one multiple MCQ questions, true false questions, and you need to answer. So 5 marks questions comprehension. Similarly, 5 marks questions from the data interpretation. So 10 marks done. Okay. Now, the next question you have here, questions from the listening skills. So first you try to understand here. The 3 questions will be given without any choice. Each question is for 1 mark. So 1 mark, 3 questions will be given. So what are the questions can be asked? They may ask you that which are the types of listening. So I already given you the description on the screen. You can read all those types of listening. They can ask you any types of listening definition. It can be say asked that what is the meaning of comprehensive listening, what's the meaning of empathetic listening. So meaning of each type of listening you should know. It also might be asked here, write two differences between hearing and listening. So when you answer this listening skills questions for 3 marks, remember types of listening, meaning of each listening category, and the difference between hearing and listening. You can watch my videos on hearing and listening and the data interpretation. The link is in the description box. Then the next question is here. The fourth section is here, do as directed. So here you had 10 marks questions. So how those 10 marks questions are divided? 2 marks questions will be asked here. How do you introduce yourself to somebody or somebody to other person? Second, how do you request in a given situation? How do you seek information in a given situation? How do you make an inquiry? How do you appreciate? How do you congratulate? So each expression will have the weightage for 2 marks. So in this section here, this is how those 5 segments are here, and based on the 5 segments, you'll be asked a 10 marks question. So what I have done here, I have tried to give you, this is how, these are the sample questions which I have tried to borrow from the previous year's question papers. So let's say here, question number 1, how to introduce yourself to the NSS officer of your college. Good morning, sir. My name is Mukesh Soni. I'm the NSS officer of your college or of this college. I've been working here from the past. Uh, like this, you can introduce, right? Then request the student council coordinator to give you an opportunity to host a cultural event. Express the words of appreciation to your opponent team on winning the trophy. Inquire the college office for the details of a diploma course in human resource management. How will you seek permission from a class teacher for the extension date for the assignment submission? So like this is a pattern. Like this, the questions will be asked from this section. Each question has the weightage for 2 marks. And I have already solved the question paper of 2022, question paper 2023, a model question paper. So in the description box, you can see directly three solved question papers. And if you go through these 3 solved question papers, you will get a lot of ideas that how you should answer these questions. So rapidly we are moving because we are doing revision. So when you do revision, we don't go in depth. We'll try to just touch the surface and try to recall. Now, the next question you have here, how to give instructions. So here you have a choice. You have 2 questions for the instructions. For example, give instructions to your friend how to create a template for your resume. Give instructions to your sister on how to book a film ticket on bookmyshow.com. So like this, you will be given the choice here and select anyone whichever you feel more comfortable. So 5 marks giving instructions. Then 2 marks questions. A map is given on a question paper and you need to show a direction to somebody to reach from point A to point B or from one place to other place. So giving instructions 5 marks, and then giving directions 2 marks, 7 marks, right? Then last segment we have here, you have here 10 marks grammar. 10 marks grammar you have here. Very easy questions will be asked, don't worry. WS questions, WS and non-WS questions, 3 marks. So here you need to create the questions to get the underlined word as an answer. WS questions for 3 marks. Question tags, 2 marks. Subject verb agreement, 3 marks. Correct form of the word by using prefix or suffix, 2 marks. So this is how you'll be having 10 marks questions. So the sample questions are on your screen here. And again, these questions are compiled by using your last 3 years question papers. So for example, frame questions to get the underlined word as an answer. Mr. Abhishek received the Best Outgoing Student Award. So we need to get the Best Outgoing Student Award as an answer. We'll say, what did Mr. Abhishek receive? Similarly, for the next question, answer should be, who are the beneficiaries of Manrega scheme? How did the lady die? Right? Then question tag. Didn't Akshay? Will say. Does she? Will say. Gymnastic is a very difficult sport. The chief minister, along with his council of ministers, have, right? There are two persons have idli and sambar. Idli and sambar is a wholesome food. Then the Gubbi Viranna company was very famous in Karnataka, fame to famous. Alakhya is undergoing secretarial practice. Got it now? So like this, you'll be asked here. You can see here three questions for WH, two questions for question tags, and the three questions from the subject verb agreement. Subject verb agreement has very simple funda. If the subject is singular, your helping verb is also plural. If the subject is plural, your helping verb will also be plural. So you can watch my special video on WS questions, question tags, and the subject verb agreement. You can see all the grammars videos linked in the description box. So let's move further. So this is how you will be having here 40 marks workbook. How many marks? 40 marks workbook, comprehension passage, data interpretation, then you have listening questions, then you have do as directed. Under do it directed you have inquiry, introduction, etc. 10 marks. Then you have another 10 marks here instructions, and then instructions you have marks giving instructions, then directions here. Then you have 10 marks questions from the grammar ws questions, question tags, right? Question tags, and the correct form of the word, subject verb agreement. So now we are moving to the 20 marks questions from the six chapters. And how will these 20 marks questions be asked here? You have three important sections: 1 mark 5 questions, 5 marks 1 questions, 10 marks 1 question. So 1 marks 5 questions. So 1 marks 5 questions. Out of 6 questions, you'll be asked here 6 questions, and out of 6 questions, you need to opt here only 5. So choices are very less. 5 marks only 1 questions out of 3. 10 marks only 1 questions out of 3. So this is 11:37 p.m. I'm making this video. This is 27th February 2024. All right, let's move. So the very first chapter. Now here, I will tell you the brief summary of each chapter. Chapter number 1, the lesson number 1 you have here, Acceptance by Bhaswar Mukherjee. So this story reflects the apathy of the society towards the LGBT community. It highlights the very sad plight of a transgender trying to lead a normal life in society. It's an emotional and touching story of a eunuch maid. Eunuch means to say the transgender maid. It describes the condition of eunuchs in the society, but at the end of the story, it leaves us with a smile. So we have few characters in the story here. The characters are Mr. Ashok, Savitri, that is Ashok's mother, and Vijay, Ashok's 3 years son, then Rama, who is Ashok's wife and Savitri's daughter-in-law, and Santoshi is a transgender maid, or we can say an eunuch. So I will tell you the story here. This story, Acceptance, begins with an introduction to the winter season in Chennai with a rising temperature, which is entirely different from the rest of the country. So a lot of events happen here. For example, Ashok Srinivasan's mother's visit to Chennai during the Pongal festival. So which always, when you talk about the Pongal, it always gives us about the agriculture, harvest, etc. So Savitri had prepared, Savitri, who is Ashok's mother, she has prepared very nice sovereigns and sweets for her son and for her grandson, Vijay, who is hardly 3 years old. And but the problem is here, Savitri's relation with her daughter-in-law Rama is not in a good condition, not very good, very hostile. So this is another reason for the mercury is rising here. Secondly, it's a very summer season, right? So now what happens here, the maid who is working at present, she has asked for a 1 week vacation during this festival, during this Pongal festival. And we know very well that if a maid asks for 1 week vacation, how would be the reaction here? So because of this, Because of this, there's a lot of hangama happens in Ashok's house, because there won't be anybody to look after Vijay, who is hardly 3 years old boy, or we can say 3 years old kid. Sorry, the kid. So, however, she decided that her mother-in-law, uh, I mean to say, Rama has decided that somehow my mother-in-law Savitri should not be disturbed for any of the work. So at the same time, there should not be anything happen between their relationship. The reason for Savitri's dislike towards Rama was due to her modern upbringing. So Rama is quite with modern thoughts. So the old lady also resented to the fact that her bond with the son was losing after her marriage and the birth of her son. She did not enjoy as much acceptance from her son as she used to get when her husband was alive. So here, the writer has compares the agitation of Rama to Jallikattu bull and Ashok to a matador who tries to tame the bull. He might have used the sport like Jallikattu in the nation to showcase the identity of the land, Tamil Nadu also. So here, what happened? An eunuch, Santoshi, Santoshi. She has knocked the door and she asked that she's looking for the job here. So her physical appearance is very much distinctive, and Santoshi is very polite lady or a polite eunuch, right? So what happens? She gets job. Somehow she gets job, and Santoshi, she comes to seek job here. Very huge size, 6 feet tall, very strong muscular arms. So generally, her mannerism will be very much different, like clapping hands on the face, knocking on the car windows, asking for alms or money. But on the other hand, this eunuch Santoshi has shown a lot of politeness and fineness in the character. So so Rama the moment Rama opened the door, she has seen the eunuch is here. She closed the door, and later, she just thought that somewhere some visitor has come, and she thought that she was born with as a poor boy. So after the death of father, the boy was forcefully. Uh, I mean to say that's the story of this eunuch here. Forcefully, this boy was castrated by some miscreants and was changed to a girl who was sent to beg, and she was staying in slum and was working with the slum orphans. In fact, she wanted a steady income to support her cause. So Rama became very emotional, and she thought, okay, let eunuch work in my home, and let's look after Vijay here. So Ashok's reaction was very much different, right? It was very much different, and Ashok is afraid that they cannot leave their 3 years old son to such kind of eunuch, because they have already heard that many times. They heard that a gang of some people, they kidnap the children, right? So he's very much afraid. So what happens? Something has really happened here. Vijay is missing. The the 3 years old son is missing, and who is suspect here? Santoshi, the eunuch Santoshi is suspect here, and all of them, they go hunting Vijay here, and whereas all of them, they go in hunting for Vijay, and finally, where is Vijay found? Vijay was found seated, cuddled up in the lap of Santoshi near the staircase. It was very repulsive that eunuch servant who had saved the child from falling from the lift and saved Vijay's life. Save Ashok's life, not Vijay. The happiness of Vijay's parents knew no bounds. Okay, I'm sorry, there's a mistake here. So when he so finally, where was this Vijay? The 3 years old kid was found here. The 3 years old kid was found with Santoshi. Santoshi has saved this child who was about to fall from the lift, and Vijay's parents, Ashok, everybody, they were very much happy, and they realized the mistake that they were considering eunuch as a very non-human being person, and thus Santoshi, the eunuch, gained a job, has also gained her identity. So that's a very brief story. Please go through my special video on the summary of this lesson, acceptance. The video's link is in the description box. Now we are moving to the chapter number 2, Sonnet 106. It's a sonnet composed by William Shakespeare. So sonnet number 106 is one of 154 sonnets written by the English playwright and the poet William Shakespeare. It's a member of the fair youth sequence in which the poet expresses a love towards a young man who is still unknown. Obsession, praise, love, and beauty, they are the poem's central themes. This poem is primarily about the speaker's obsession with his friend's beauty. He thinks nothing in the world he thinks nothing in the world can beat him in beauty and looks. He even feels that historic writings did not mention the beauty of old times. Instead, the ancient writers they foreshadows the beauty of the fair youth in their love poems. So that's about Sonnet 106. Then the third very interesting story. Marriage is a Private Affair by Chinua Achebe. This short story by Chinua Achebe explores a clash between traditional customs and the modern values, particularly in the context of marriage and family. The story revolves around Nameka, a young man from the Ibo tribe in Nigeria who falls in love with Nene, a woman from a different tribe, the Ibibo. Despite his father Okeke's strong adherence to traditional tribal customs and his desire for Nameka to marry within the tribe, Nameka chooses to marry Nene in a civil ceremony without his father's consent. Okeke is deeply upset by Nameka's decision and refuses to accept Nene as his daughter-in-law as she does not belong to the tribe. He disowns Nameka and refuses to acknowledge his grandchildren also. So after so many years, so after so many years, when Okeke receives a letter from Nene informing him about the birth of his grandchildren, he is initially resistant. However, upon seeing the photographs of his grandchildren, Okeke begins to very much soften, realizing that his love for his grandchildren transcends tribal boundaries. He starts to question the rigidity of his beliefs and ultimately reaches out to Nameka, expressing his desire to reconcile and meet his grandchildren. So through this story, okay, through this story, Chinima Achebe, or the writer, highlights the tension between the tradition and the modernity, as well as the complexities of family dynamics and the importance of love and understanding in bringing cultural divides. It also underscores the transformative power of familial bonds and the potential for reconciliation and acceptance in the face of difference. So that's a summary of the story. Marriage is a private affair. Then we have a very interesting poem on buying and selling by Khalil Gibran. And this is taken from Khalil Gibran's collection, The Prophet. It was published in 1923. This poem deals with the integrity in the buying and selling of the produce of the earth. It resonates as a conversation between the merchant and the prophet Al-Mustafa. The poet emphasizes the need to strengthen the bond between human beings and nature. So here, what do we find here? The traders or the poet says here, the traders or the merchants must be grateful to Mother Earth and they should take a vow not to exhaust natural resources. The merchants need to acknowledge the hardship faced by farmers, weavers, potters, and adhere to the ethical standards. No trader shall indulge in unethical practices while buying from them. So the poem begins with the description of the earth's prosperity and the fruits of earth. The prophet says that the earth yields for her fruit to satisfy us, and he recommends the merchants to know how to fill his hands. He says that it's an exchanging of gifts from the earth, and one can be satisfied by understanding it. He also says if the exchanging is not with love and justice, it will not only lead, sorry, it will not only lead to the poverty but also to the problems. So later, Al Mustafa glorifies the hard labor of the seafarers, farmers, weavers, potters, the collectors of the spices who invoke the master spirit of the earth and sanctify the scales and the reckoning value against value. In times, some of them, it may be the merchant who did not suffer and barren-handed takes part in your transaction and use their words in equal for your labor. Then you say, come with us to the field or go with your brother to the sun and cast your net. So for the land and sea shall be bountiful to you even as to us. So in this manner we find here Al-Mustafa, the Prophet, delineates the magnanimous quality of nature and labor, then points out the to the corporate mindset. He says that there may be singer, dancer, flute player who would come there to buy their gifts. In fact, they together with fruit and frankincense, or we can say frankincense, turn food from your soul. So when you leave the marketplace, look there, look, look there, look there. No one is empty-handed. All fills with their hands with the produce of the earth. Finally, Khalil Gibran glorifies the master spirit of the earth. We shall not sleep peacefully without satisfying your needs. The poem elicits the modern state of buying and selling. So, through this idea, Gibran explains the real quality of nature and the hard labor and the state of merchandise. He justifies through prophet that earth is really bountiful in satisfying the needs of all beings of the earth. So that's a brief summary of on buying and selling. Watch my special video as a summary. See the description box, get the links. Now we are moving to the the lesson number 5, towards a competitive nation, by Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. So, the present essay is an extract from APJ Abdul Kalam's famous book Turning Points, A Journey Through Challenges, and the inspiring sequel to Wings of Fire. In this essay, Mr. Kalam says it's a real challenge for the scientific community to enrich the lives of 750 millions who live in villages, which is the majority of Indian population. Dr. Kalam has emphasized here three major areas. One is nanotechnology, e-governance, biodiesel, and the three unique events. These three unique events which took place in Rashtrapati Bhavan and the Rashtrapati Nilayam, number one, nanotechnology conference, e-governance conference, and the bio-based conference. So we can say here, when you go through this chapter, you will read here to Kalam's discussion with Professor C.N. Rao and the prerequisites of developed India. He has mentioned how the e-governance is important. He has mentioned what is the source of conflict in the future, the water and energy. He has spoken about the conference at Rashtrapati Bhavan. Dr. Kalam has also given a highlight about Chandrayaan mission, innovation index, global competitiveness, launch of Agni 5, a milestone, further development on critical technologies, and finally, he has spoken about the deployment of 4 missile systems. Last lesson we have here, Freedom and Choice, which is written by 3 writers, N. Krishnaswamy, Lalita Krishnaswamy, Revati Krishnaswamy. So, Freedom and Choice, the essay explores various career opportunities for youngsters in the present times. This essay also throws light on the fact that parents are accepting and encouraging their daughters to select a career of their own choice here. So, what are the key points we should remember from this chapter? That number one, we are living in the world of choice. Career options are available for women compared to the past. Career options of today are very different from the past. Options available for enterprising entrepreneurs. Which are the options we have? Transitional society, transformation happening in the field of education and its impact on career options available today. What is the contribution of women to the making of new and strong India? And finally, Dr. Kalam says here, computerization has revolutionized career opportunities. So this is the sixth lesson, and friends, this is how I try to give you the summary. I have tried to give you the revision of the complete syllabus of first semester BCom BBA Generic English under BCU. Please go through the description box. You will get all the topics links where you can go through the summary, the chapters with examples, grammar with examples. So that's going to help you a lot to understand the question paper. This video is just a glimpse of the whole lesson or the whole syllabus. Thank you so much. If you like the video, click on like button. If you're not yet subscribed my channel, please do subscribe. Thank you once again, and very good luck for the examination.
Dear friends, thank you so much for watching this video. You can reach me at mukeshenglish@gmail.com. Please do subscribe the channel, click on the like button for more videos on literature, workbook, pronunciation, grammar, communication skills, presentation skills, interview skills. Stay in tune with Mukesh English. Thank you once again.